Hey everyone, Zach Howell here, going to talk to you today about biomechanics in sport, specifically talking about impulse. Now, impulse is whenever we have a force applied to an object and the time that it takes to move that object. So, what is a big factor here is the change in time, right? And that, obviously, there's a relationship between impulse and the momentum of that object. So, when the force is applied and the change in time occurs, there is a velocity and a mass. Obviously, the mass is going to remain constant most of the time whenever we're moving an object in sports, such as weightlifting, right? The mass doesn't change throughout the motion, but how fast we move it or the velocity will change. So it seems like there's this common thing that increasing velocity will make someone more forceful, produce more mechanical energy, etc. Right? So with that being said, a good example of impulse would be, like I said, any kind of weightlifting, power clean, deadlift, back squat, a bench press, these core movements where, especially on a power clean, on power exercises, power cleans, snatches, velocity is key because the mass is not going to change throughout that movement. So how quickly we move that weight is going to affect it. So here with me, I have a bar. I'm gonna do a little power clean here to show impulse, where we're going to act on this weight, this mass is not gonna change, with a force, and that force is going to be applied over a specific amount of time. It's not gonna be beautiful or perfect, but it's gonna get the job done. My clothes might limit my range of motion a little bit. So here we go. So as we do a power clean, we start here from the floor, right? And what's going to do it is, if I move this really slow, like so, whenever I move the bar that slow, there's less of a, there's obviously working over a greater amount of time, which means my velocity is slower. So what I have to do is I have to act with an even greater amount of force because this mass is not changing. Greater amount of force will decrease the time that we act on this, which will increase our velocity, like so. Okay, obviously I over-exaggerated the slower one. Didn't go as fast as I could on that one, but that is essentially how an impulse works whenever we apply it to the sport of weightlifting.